Let's talk about the flywheel model versus the linear sales funnel. Now, talking about the flywheel model, which we discussed last time, we are talking about that object, that process, that framework, when replicated, gathers business momentum that delivers, unusual profit and success for the business. What is that we're talking about? But today we're looking about the flywheel model application in businesses and how you compare it to your conventional linear funnel in sales. So what is that we're talking about? Now for your flywheel model, remember, we are talking about that typical flywheel that gathers inertia from the beginning, but begins to roll even faster when you continue to put effort in pushing it. The same way when exemplified and approximated in business. What happens is that, as you continue to put effort, strategic effort, as you continue to create awareness, guarantee, brand equity measured by awareness, measured by perceived quality, measured by loyalty, you are therefore creating effort that leads to success in business. So if you want to apply the flywheel model, look at this diagram as shown here. You will clearly see that it's also a representation of a round object, a spherical object, which again represents the flywheel. What are we talking about here? The acronym, no, the abbreviation of AED shows you the model you can apply if you want to actually approximate the flywheel model in your business. The first one is A, which is to attract. What are you going to do? Attract your customers through what? Through communication, through promotion, through brand trial, and so on and so forth. When the customers are attracted, what's the next thing? You talk about E, which is engage. You will engage these customers significantly such that customers are fully aware of the benefits of your products and offerings. Then you will delight them. Once you engage them and they become customer, you will delight them. When you delight them, they feel satisfied. And when they feel satisfied, what next? They will begin to ensure they continue to patronize you. But what does this flywheel model of AED do for businesses? What it does is that it succeeds in moving what we call strangers to prospects or to leads. Those leads will eventually become your customers if well engaged. And when they become your customers and you end up, making them happy, satisfying them, they become your promoters. These guys will now begin to talk for you in your behalf, even where you are not. Remember what they say in sales and marketing based on research that bad news travel faster. And that if you delight one customer, you tell two persons. But if you make him angry and dissatisfy him, you tell 10. So that's exactly what happens in the flywheel model. You have to, attract your customers, engage them, and delight them. Therefore, you will now create the external part of this diagram, which turns strangers to what? It turns your strangers to prospects. Those prospects are eventually, through good engagement, turned to customers. These customers will end up becoming what? Promoters. But let's look at your conventional linear sales funnel. We have this acronym we call ACLA, ACCLA, where that A represents awareness. What you are doing that is not known may lack patronage. So you need to create awareness. After all, one of the key elements of brand equity is brand awareness. So you need to create the awareness for what you're doing, for the services, for the offerings and products by creating communication that relates to the benefits. Remember, I've said earlier, you don't sell features. You sell what? Benefits. You sell you appeal. How does this appeal to the customer in question? That's what you sell, right? So when the awareness is created, what next? The next one is C, which leads to what? consideration. Now the customers will begin to consider what they have heard. Remember, when you get awareness, you are selling benefits. The customers now begin to consider those things they heard, how those products and services will be of benefit, how it will solve their problems. Now, once that consideration is made, they get converted. That's the next C, which is conversion. So once they are converted, they are already your customers. You continue to make sure you delight them and satisfy them, right? Now, if you continue to satisfy them over time, they will turn to loyal customers. That's the L. They will turn to loyal customers. And loyal customers will stay with you in thick and in thin, right? When things are going well or bad for the brand, they remain because they are loyal. Are you getting the point I'm making? So we have the last word, A, which is advocacy. Now, these customers will begin to advocate for you. They speak on your behalf. They promote you. They are able to refer customers to your business because they themselves are satisfied. Remember, lack of referral is one of the strongest evidence of poor customer satisfaction. That means if your customers are now satisfied and become your advocates and become your promoters, they will begin to tell people about what you do because they are happy with you. They are satisfied with what you're doing. They will tell others. And that is how business begins to grow and then begins to become very profitable and interesting.